What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome back to MKO Boxing, aka MKO Pugilism, where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube, follow on TikTok, all that good stuff. So, yeah, this one I'm just going to talk a little bit about some of what I think will be keys to victory for Fabio Wardley if he is to beat Joseph Parker on Saturday. And, we're talking just a few days away. This is now Wednesday, so it's just literally 2 days away now, and we'll be there fight night. So anyway, so keys to victory for Fabio Wardley. I think first of all, for him, it's about sort of doing what he does best, playing to his strengths. So um, I don't think he's the best defensive fighter. He's not the best with his defenses. So I think with this fight for Fabio Wardley, one of the key things he's going to have to do if he wants to win this fight is he's going to have to start the fight quite fast. And I think him sort of sticking it on Joseph Parker in terms of pressure. So I think he's going to have to bring the heat, bring the pressure to Joseph Parker and sort of bring it to him from the first bell. Try and, if he can, sort of lay into Joseph Parker early and kind of shock Joseph Parker a bit because some with Parker, that's something that he can sort of struggle with sometimes when a guy really sort of puts it on him, really puts the pressure on him. He can sometimes struggle with that sort of thing. So I think with if you're Wardley, you want to sort of put it on Joseph Parker early. You want to start the fight early, start letting your hands go from early, not completely reckless, but you want to sort of let Parker know you're there, try and land, try and do some damage from early in the fight and start it from the word go. Because yeah, Parker is better than anyone Wardley's fought, but I think that's where Wardley's got his strengths in that sort of ferocity and that killer instinct. So I think starting the fight fast is going to be, a key. It's going to be essential for Fabio Wardley. I also think, coupled with that, I think in terms of strategy, he's going to have to sort of be right there with in the pocket with Joseph Parker, and I would say he's got to make sure that this fight does not turn into like a boxing match. He's got to make sure that this fight is going to be a brawl. It's going to be his type of fight. He's got to make sure that he doesn't let Parker sort of start leading off with the jab and establishing the jab and sort of getting that going, getting the basics going, getting the good old 1-2s going, and having a fight long range. He's got to grab the fight by the scruff of the neck and not let Parker sort of get into any sort of rhythm or any sort of groove in the fight. He's got to make sure, no, from the word go, takes it by the scruff of the neck, puts it on Joseph Parker, puts the pressure on Parker from early as possible. He's also got to make sure that he doesn't give Joseph Parker time and space to work. So he's got to make sure that he jumps on him early and that the way he fights is aggressive, and it is to the point where Joseph Parker's on the back foot and Joseph Parker's not being allowed to get that rhythm and to sort of get his boxing off. So Wardley's got to fight in such a way where he's aggressive and he's sort of making sure that Joseph Parker doesn't have the space to work, to space to do what he does best and work to his strengths, and he's got to make sure he doesn't give him the time to do what he needs to do. So he's got to make it a brawl. He's got to make it a dog fight, because that's the area where Wardley sort of excels. Admittedly, yes, he hasn't been to this high of a level as yet until Saturday night coming up. But that's where his strengths are, sort of in the ferocity and the intensity, and his finishing instincts are very good. And, he's one of those fighters that he's not done things a conventional way, as I say, white collar all the way to boxing at world level as a professional. It's a good achievement by Wardley, and he's just got to sort of play to his strengths, really. Make sure this turns into a brawl. This doesn't turn into a boxing match. Make sure that you put the pressure on Parker early, let your hands go, let your combinations go from early, because that's where even in the early rounds, that's where he could catch Parker cold. He could catch Parker with something he doesn't see coming, and he's got to sort of use that. The fact that he is a little bit unorthodox. He doesn't do things the conventional way. That he can punch from awkward angles sometimes. He's got to use those things to his advantage, and just try and make it into a dogfight, because if it's turned into a dogfight, that's where Wardley can excel, and that's where Parker, that'll be sort of a -4 Joseph Parker. So that's just a few things I think there where Wardley can, if he is going to win this fight, those are the sort of tactics where what I'd be looking at there for him to employ. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, and until next time, it's MK Boxing, over and out.